Okay, we will see if notifications go out. And if you hear the fans on, it's hot in here. So, yeah. I don't even know what to score the episode itself. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it was all right, I guess. You could have skipped this episode and missed nothing. Okay, we got two people, so doesn't look like notifications went out. So we'll wait a bit longer. And if nobody shows up, I don't really care. I'll just go to sleep. To be honest, I wanted to go to sleep at 8:45, but I figured why not watch the episode? I did have a good time on Twitter. So there's that. Okay, we got 14 people. That's a few. So if you have any thoughts about the episode, let me know. I think the title of this live stream pretty much sums it up for me. I feel what really brought the episode down for me was the fact that there were just way too many times I was left confused by the characters and their motivation, specific plot points from season 5 that were brought up, and now you have characters acting confused. Like, for example, Gary acting stunned at Andy's reaction to his involvement with Robin losing the company, even though he is well aware she knows because she confronted him in the restroom of the penthouse about it last season. Fatima hired Tamara, or specifically asked Madam to send the biggest gold digger she had to take Hayden for everything he had and provide a distraction. But now she's acting like Tamara's acting off script. I have no earthly idea what Maurice's plan is to get Q to tell the truth. Not to mention, you are the one that shot him. Yes, it was his gun and all, but I'm thinking, why in the world would he be allowed anywhere near Q in the hospital, which we do see him in his hospital room in the next episode? Why would he, the shooter, be allowed in the victim's hospital room? Then Preston, I have no earthly idea how or why Mindy was introduced into the series if she's like a one-off character and Preston is just going to stay with Danny. He's literally moving himself into her apartment the same way Aaron did to Karen. And that's it. Everything else was rather set up for next week. Pam being shocked at the salon fire. Zach calling Heather to set up a meeting. I am glad we got one friendly Zatima scene. Seriously, seeing Zach and Fatima have a nice moment in the kitchen together, that is the first time we've seen that in quite a while. Fatima smiling as she leaves the house. They kiss. Zach jokes around. I love you too. I can't remember the last time we've seen this. And when I say the last time this has happened, I'm not talking about Zach groveling to Fatima to not be mad at him over something, but I mean legitimately the entire conversation is Zach and Fatima just talking, So there's that. We got over 30 people. Nobody's talking. Is the chat not working? So what are your thoughts on the episode? I don't even know what to score it. I would probably give it like a 6 out of 10. Excuse me. A 6 out of 10 because it really wasn't all that amazing. Like I said, BET dropped the ball by spoiling the entire episode via an article yesterday. So this episode really didn't have any surprises. Chat test? Yeah, okay, chat test. I got your chat, but ain't nobody else. What do you think happened to Karen? Karen is alive. Couple things. We know that there was a guy in the shop next door that saved her. She is alive. Karen is alive. I don't know why they're trying to make it seem suspenseful, when the season 6 promo literally shows Karen alive and well. Testing. Okay, we got some chats. I was just wondering, we're 5 minutes in, but nobody said anything. This episode was trash. Yeah. Okay, I didn't see that. Thanks. Yeah, I even tweeted out, I'm like, do y'all want me to go live? There really isn't anything to talk about. I have no thoughts to the Danny and Preston and Jonah thing. Seriously, I just feel like even though it was good to see him get knocked out, he's literally out on bail. So is he going to try to go after her again? Or I think Jonah being reintroduced was just as ridiculous as Mindy. If nothing else, Jonah only feels like a plot point to have Preston go back over to Danny's apartment. That's the only reason that I feel like he was introduced. Also, why is Maurice once again trying to put Calvin and Sabrina together? That's another reason why I don't like his character. 1 minute, he's like, I'm sick and tired of hearing about you two. You need to grow up. Like, go with the rich African or whatever. Calvin, just get over Sabrina. But then it's like, whenever Tyler wants to try to put those two together, he'll have Maurice say something like, hey, why don't you and Calvin just, I don't know why. I'm sorry. I've never been a fan of this pairing. I've never have. And with Danny and Preston, I feel like there's just been way too much damage from the writing to even make a believable reconciliation between these two happen. I gotta admit, I'm with Danny on not understanding the Mindy character. I mean, I don't know who looks worse, Mindy for just sitting back and letting things play out so Preston is sure, or Preston for having a whole fiance but admitting to being in love with someone else. I mean, I don't understand it. You literally proposed to Danny, then gave that same ring to Mindy. Now you're going to send her back to Texas because you're staying with Danny. When Preston was in his truck going, what am I doing? I tweeted out, I've been saying the same thing since season 4. The writing does not work. It does not work. It really doesn't. It just feels this episode was just further proof of how Tyler will write certain things in order to force storylines to happen. Seriously. What, like Danny said, what woman, it couldn't be me, what woman would accept her fiance talking about the show, talking about she know how he really feels? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you do know that, why would you even accept the engagement ring? Yeah, Tamara, I ain't gonna lie, Tamara, Fatima, and Sabrina looked amazing in this episode. There was something about Sabrina's skin, her thighs. Maybe it was that dress revealing her legs. I don't know. It was good. Tamara, yeah. Fatima and her colors and her outfit, I like that. What, yellow shoes? She had yellow and blue in her, outfit. I like that. I mean, it's bad when episode 2 can be classified as full-fledged filler. I mean, it just felt so formulaic for the sake of putting pieces together. Oh, well, we need a reason for Preston to stay with Danny again. Let's, throw Jonah into the mix. And then the Gary Andy thing, this episode just, again, reinforced this is just Tyler cramming stuff down our throat. Don't spend 10 minutes of Andy standing up to Gary. But then in the next episode, Gary's going to call, hey, can we get together again? And they do. Then what was the point of wasting all that time on Andy telling Danny, oh, don't worry, I'll get rid of Gary. And then Gary, you need to leave, stay in the guest house. And then Gary, you need to just stop acting. What is the point? It's like the video I posted today. I'm getting bored. This is my job. Yes, I know I review these shows for a living, so it's not that I'm going to stop completely, But it's just one of those cycles where I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Because the writing just doesn't make any sense at all. I'm trying to hang in there, but this is only episode 2. We still have 20 episodes left before we get to season 7 with the new writers. So hopefully things get better then. Well, yeah, the only pluses of the episode was the Zatima scene, Tamara, and how she looked, Sabrina, how she looked. The Maurice stuff was stupid. I mean, like I said earlier in this video and on Twitter, Maurice shot Q. Why in the world would he be allowed in Q's hospital room? Talking about she knows how she feels about Danny. He feels about Danny. What woman? No woman would write this crap. That's what I'm saying. It's like I said on Twitter. It's like this episode is countering the article. Hell, the articles. You could have read the article and that's it. I know, shrug shoulder. It feels like Mindy was plucked out of a Hallmark Christmas movie and placed in this series because there's no realistic woman who would accept that. Really, it makes no sense. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm not the biggest Aaron fan, but Pam was kind of rude to him too. The whole thing about, nah, this is my business, you know what? Because that girl was coming at us in the parking lot. No, she wasn't even coming at Karen. She was trying to warn Karen. Pam, you were standing in the background and nobody even asked you to go outside. I was just watching for the fashion. Usually I don't comment on the fashion, but I think that Tamara, Fatima, and Sabrina look amazing in this episode. Like I said, Sabrina with the legs, I don't know. And then the more Maurice talked, the more I'm wondering, why the hell did Sabrina and Calvin go through as all they did to get him out of jail? I mean, the more he talked, the more he kept calling Sabrina the B word, the more he kept calling her out of her name. I'm just like, you really felt it was worth betting 1.5 million on this guy? Seriously, I have no idea what the motivation of this character is. How is he going to fix this? Calvin almost killed him with the golf club. He's been shot. He is not telling the truth. Yes, season 7 is the hope. Season 7 is the only reason I'm sticking with this show, because this season makes no sense so far. We're only 2 episodes in, and I'm just wondering, what am I watching? And he doesn't even care. That's why Andy had to. One of the best scenes of the series was when Andy checked his behind. And I'm still wondering about this investigation. Sabrina was the one on the phone with the other bank. Remember, the safe wasn't open yet. So Sabrina had to call another branch to activate the lock so, the safe could be open so it could be robbed. And she used like a certain code word. That way the other bank was aware that, oh, snap, this bank is being robbed. We need to send the cops over there. If Sabrina was the one who stopped the robbery in progress, why is she under investigation? Maurice is grown. If he wants to go there, nobody can stop him. I'm doing anything. Let Maurice do what he's going to do. If he goes back to jail, that's on him. I agree with you, but it's the fact that, like Sabrina said, you're going to make things worse for the both of us. So Sabrina trying to tell Maurice what to do makes complete sense. It's not the fact that Maurice is grown, he can do what he wants. It's the fact that he is not taking this crap seriously. All he had to do was call the police about Q taking his car, and then that could have led to a lot of other things. But it's like these characters pick the dumbest thing to do to make things worse rather than to fix things. And yes, I did notice when Reese tried to call out Calvin. And where do you work, Calvin? He owns a construction company. This was said in episode 2. Her code backwards. That's most places. I thought the vault wouldn't open. Well, no. If I remember correctly, Q wanted to rob the bank, but they hadn't opened yet. So the vault hadn't opened yet. So Sabrina's like, well, I need to call this particular branch in order to get the code to activate the vault so it opens. And then when she was on the phone, she used that code word to alert the other branch they were being robbed. So that's why the vault itself didn't open. And then Maurice going to get the Maurice was acting just like Danny. When his friends rightfully call him out for a screw up, he wants to get an attitude like, oh, you're ganging up on me. This is all your fault. And I mean, sure, while Sabrina and Calvin are jumping on Maurice, Calvin deserves some of the blame too for letting Q into the apartment. And then Sabrina, Q came to the bank twice after he tried to rob it, yet she never called corporate. She never called the police and said, hey, we need to ban this guy from the bank because he tried to rob it. She deserves part of the blame, not a whole lot, but she deserves a little bit of it. Maurice is definitely like, if Maurice deserves like 85% of the blame, Calvin deserves what? About 13%, and Sabrina gets the remaining 2. When in distress, you get the code backwards to not allow the people trying to rob you. Yeah, well, I don't. Yeah, it's just stupid how she's under investigation, and then Maurice just call corporate. She did what she can. Sabrina has been doing nothing but trying to fix the situation. Maurice has been making things worse while constantly showing attitude to everybody else to try to fix it. Maurice should have stayed in jail. There is no reason why he should have been released on bail. And now you got Bio talking about helping Sabrina out with the bills. Stupid. Just like Aaron, I don't feel bad. You're simping. I mean, is there anything else to talk about? Seriously, the episode itself, I mean, despite that article, pretty much spoiling the entire episode, is there anything else to talk about? I think I just covered it. Tyler Perry's Sistas, thank you for the love. BET, you still haven't called me yet. You were supposed to call me. We're supposed to work something out. Tyler Perry's Sisters, you got my contact information. Email me, tweet me, DM me. The call, it's been 3 months. Y'all ain't called me yet. Or we were supposed to schedule a phone call. Yeah, there really isn't anything left to discuss. No, I don't watch Zatima because I've already watched every single episode. I got all the reviews up. Season 1, I've rewatched it all the time. Did you watch the preview for next week? No, I have not. I watched the end credit scene, but not the promo. Let me check my phone. Let me see if somebody sent it to me. Oh, somebody did. Hang on.
Next Wednesday, my ex is out of jail. Be careful. He should be careful. One discovery could change their lives forever. There's a fire. You're not going to that it is. Tyler Perry's Sistas. All new next week.
Okay, it was a 15-second promo. Yeah, I'm not going to do a trailer breakdown until maybe Friday because, I'll wait for the 30-second promo. Yeah. I'll get this episode like a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. Is that it? I think that's about it. Nothing else to talk about. I'm still wondering where Robin is, though. I mean, Hayden was the one that sent out the email to the entire office about Robin no longer working at the law firm or no longer having like a holding position of power there. I'm confused. I really am. Andy needs a new hair. I mean, I think Andy has a new hairstyle in season 7. Personally, I don't care. I think Andy's hair looks great. What's the deal with Karen? Karen is not dead. Andy gets a new hairstyle in season 7. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know. I do see she's wearing a slightly revealing outfit to work today. I'm surprised Gary didn't say anything. Oh, what are you trying to look good for Robin? Yeah, because he's not working there anymore. I wonder if Madam will make an appearance. I do not know. I think if Madam does show up, it's only going to be via a phone call to get Tamara back in line. Because literally, it makes no sense why Tamara's being written like, oh, she's about to go off script. Okay. Anything? I'll take like a couple more chats and we'll end the live stream. I'm not trying to rush, but like I said, this episode doesn't really give me a lot to work with. I do believe this is the first episode where one of the main cast has been absent. Karen was outside of the recap of last week. Karen was not in this episode. Okay, yeah, her getting a job there is way off script. Remember last season, she filled out the application even after Fatima told her not to. Off subject, I need Fatima and Zach to make it. I'm just happy that we have a second episode in a row where these two are on good terms. Somebody sent me the episode synopsis for, I believe, episode 5, and things are about to go haywire with these two again. So I guess we'll have a month of peace, and then after that, all hell is going to break loose. I think Karen will lose the baby. Nope, she is pregnant in season 7. Karen will not lose the baby, unfortunately. Okay, I'll take one more chat. And she is really trying to let him handle his business alone. You talking about Fatima? Good grief, Charlie can drag it out. Oh, yeah, Fatima. I mean, if you're referring to the Heather and Michael thing, then I can understand that, because maybe she doesn't want to overstep her boundaries because this is Zach's baby. But it's the point of, even though we saw her at the house with him, well, that's because Zach goes to the job to get her. That was, see, TV Line, they release these promotional photos that don't show up in the episode. So Zach goes over to the law firm to get Fatima, and then they go over to the house. But I don't know. All right, well, that's all I got for this particular live stream. Hopefully next week the promo looks more eventful, so we'll go from there. All right, well, thanks for joining in. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up to show you like it. Tomorrow and Friday, expect new content. I don't think my episode review is going to be long because I did a video going over BET's article which broke down the entire episode. So tomorrow I might just do like a brief review and talk more about the fact that they keep rehashing plot points, trying to make things new, and we'll go from there. So yeah, that's it. Have a great night. I'll talk to you next week.